Hey man, aspirations are pretty cool. I have a lot of aspirations and it keeps me going. It makes me want to learn more things, be better, grow as a person, develop skills. I think more people should have aspirations. For me, one of my favorite things I've always done is play video games. I love video games. One of the earliest games I've ever played was Halo 2 on the original Xbox. I grew up with that shit. It was awesome. That never changed as I got older. Still, there's so many games that I enjoy and I love, and I play games probably like every day, dude. It's a fucking problem. But I just love it. I have a passion for it. I will never not care about them. With that being said, I one day hope to make games of my own. I have ideas in my head where I want to try different things or take game formulas and combine other things with them and just spearhead that whole thing on my own and just learn so much about game dev, which includes art, programming, writing, sound effects, audio, music, all that stuff. I want to be a part of all of it. I got so many ideas for games. I want to make like a 2D Metroidvania that combines music and retro game vibes together. Currently, I'm working on a 2D endless runner game. I could say Jetpack Joyride. It's similar to that, but I'm trying to differentiate it on my own, make it my own thing. Even though there's so many 2D endless runners everywhere. So I've been working on that lately. I use ChatGPT not just to like kind of write my code and just tell me how to do it, but I'm using it in a way where it knows how to do it, but I want it to teach me and give me hints and push me in the right direction so I can figure out the correct way to do it so that I memorize it better and I'll know how to repeat something like that in the future if I have to do it for other projects. But anyways, yeah, game dev. I I love games. I want to make games. Also, I've been making music. I was a freshman when I started. I was using like free beat making software coming up on 10 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. 9 years, probably, yeah, like 2016. I started making beats on a free software. It wasn't even like a downloaded application. This was in a web browser and it was kind of shit but I didn't know any better and it was free. I wanted to make music. It worked. So I did it. I'd even mentioned before on the web browser application, I was using my school laptop because they hadn't unblocked it. So I was just using that and I was making beats. And then eventually I had a all-in-one like Dell desktop in my like my mom didn't need it anymore. So I took it and downloaded LMS like right away. It was better. It was better than Audio Tool, which was the free software I was using before. But LMS, if you know anything about it, it's very limited in what it could do. But I made beats on that long after I graduated high school. About a year or two after I graduated, I bought FL Studio. It was like $300. It was insane. But given that it cost me $300, you're damn right. I made sure I learned it. And I don't know everything, but that's what I've been using for the last 3 or 4 years now. And I've made beats. I picked up the guitar in 2019. At the time, that's what I wanted to learn, and that's what I did learn. And then I got into new metal, and then I joined a band. But anyways, I've been working on music for a long time, and I still do occasionally. I'm not too keen on joining a band again. That was fun. I think I've learned so much when it comes to music. I could get a decent amount done to completion all by myself. It sounds a little selfish, but I don't really want to have to compromise on my vision in order to work with other people. One of the greatest things about being in the band is the fact that we were all working together, and it was beautiful. It was awesome. Like we did a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, I do want to release some solo guitar based drum, acoustic music, electric guitar, that sort of combination. I like to sing. I don't think I'm at a level where I'm comfortable with showing people. Eventually, I do want to sing and write my own music and release that music to give me those same feelings that the music I have listened to over the course of my entire life, how the same feelings that music has given me, I want to give that feeling to other people to inspire them to make more music. In my mind, that is what music is. It's like a cultural and artistic passing of a torch. I haven't really even dropped anything on streaming platforms. I'm really just honing my sound and my potential, all my skills till it's at a point where I feel like it's good. I get those vocals to a point where I'm comfortable with other people hearing them, and I enjoy it most of all, you know. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care so much about what people think. It's mostly that I don't like it, so that's why I don't really go through with it. But eventually, I'll get it down. I will like it, and I'll drop something. I like to cook. I didn't cook much, say 3 years ago. I didn't really cook at all. I knew how to cook like basic things, you know, but I didn't understand the art of it quite yet or want to be a part of it. Started working at a restaurant 2 years ago on the dot. I was just a server, and this wasn't even like a typical server sort of role. Serving means you stand behind a counter and you take people's orders, like at fast food, except you take it to their table and then you clean off their table. And it's like we had different roles each day. But I wasn't really interested in cooking at that point until I got into the restaurant, and then I was like, I want more. You know, I want to do more, you know, like there's a lot of downtime. Like most of my time spent at the restaurant was rolling silverware. I didn't know how to do it. I learned how to do it there, but that's pretty damn useless to me. I wanted to do more. I feel so much more capable of something else. I wanted to grow, I guess, which is natural. I went from being a server to an expo, and in case you don't know, expo just gets the plates from the kitchen, tell the food runners where to take them, and before they send them off, they make sure they're all good. They got all the garnishes and all the finishing touches on it. Make sure it's the way it's supposed to be on the ticket. It has all the stuff. Yeah, I did that for a while, and then a good friend of mine that I worked with, we'll call him Larry. Larry made the pizzas. He didn't like it there so much anymore, so he quit. Right before he quit, though, I asked the manager, I was like, hey, can I work with Larry? It's funny calling him Larry, I'm sorry. But can I work with Larry in order to learn how to make pizzas? And so yeah, I learned how to make pizzas, and I started from that point on. I I watched The Bear, which sounds like a complete like cornball thing to me. Like I watched The Bear and I started to cook more. Like I felt, but I really did. I wanted to become a cook at the restaurant. I wanted to cook at home. I wanted to see, coming from not doing it, what can I do, and then using my creativity to enhance what I do when it comes to cooking. So, with all that being said, I eventually left this said job as a cook. It was fun. I learned so much, but I don't think I want to cook for somebody else again. So that leads to one thing I want to do is I want to probably in the next couple years buy a food truck, build it, get it all perfect and safety certified. I want to post up somewhere in my city and cook out of it and just see what happens, like bomb ass deli style sandwich out of the food truck. It would be pretty badass. Yeah, I want to open a food truck. Another thing I want to do is stream, like Twitch stream. And I don't mean like in the Kai Cenat or Aiden Ross, Black Boy Max sort of way. I want to kind of show people what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis in order to promote what I do, whether it's music or game dev or even my food truck. I think it'd be so awesome to stream and build an audience of people that like what I make through an online medium. If I was able to build that audience of people that like to see the growth and what I make on a day-to-day basis, I could start building a community, like people that just like the shit I do, whether it's in one category specifically or, everything I do. Having a platform where people could see what I do, enjoy what I do, and support what I do. That'd be that'd be pretty awesome. Same thing, the other hand of that would be YouTube as well, like long form content, maybe short form as well. It's like, check this out. I made this. This is badass. You know, simple as that. I want to one day make clothes. Generally, I don't think it's too expensive to start. And I hate to bring it to like a business standpoint because at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter. I should just do what I want. It's insanely oversaturated. And like I said, I would probably need a platform in order to successfully get into that industry without like breaking the bank. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I can advertise to a ton of people and spend a lot of money, but that's not a guarantee. That's like only I'm gonna lose some money possibly trying that. So I think if I just build an audience, start doing some cool shit, and then I'm like, hey, I also make clothes. Check this out. Like if I'm a person that people know of and they watch regularly, and then it's like, oh, he makes cool shit, and he also makes clothes, which are also cool. People look into that. This is very distant one for me because I it's so expensive and I'm probably like not very good at it. But eventually I kind of want to collect cars. In the future, when I'm older, crack a couple beers, work on a truck, work on a car. My dream car is an FD RX-7, and if you know anything about those, they need so much like maintenance and upkeep in order to keep it running pristinely because the apex seals will blow if you don't. So yeah, I one day when I build up my businesses and stuff and what I do, these aspirations, afterwards I'll get into some cars. And then like one more last thing I would possibly want to do is kind of be a freelance creative director, creative producer, sort of like Rick Rubin, if you know who Rick Rubin is. He's behind the Beastie Boys albums, Run DMC. Oh my God, Kanye West, Yeezus. He was behind that. He's an amazing music producer. People value him for the opinions he has when it comes to music and his taste. One day I would want to be like that, and not in the sense where I want to do nothing and get paid for it. I just have a love for all things creative, and I would want to point things in directions in order to help people that might need it in order to hone their artistic capabilities and their creative body as a whole into one cohesive piece, whether that be a game, whether that be music. Even if I wasn't paid, that'd be so awesome to me. So yeah, that's just it's like all the aspirations I could think of that I currently have. But I want to hear from you, dude. What are some of your aspirations? What do you want to do? What do you like to do? Do you have any brainstorm ways and how that could make you some money? If so, that's awesome. Let me know. Talk to me. One last thing, aspirations are really fucking cool. Everybody should have aspirations. Thank you. Good night.